Black Ops 6 ranked play has a massive problem, and I'm curious to know what you all think of this. So I got a text from my boy Jared FPS telling me to check my account and network settings on the PlayStation 5, and I saw something interesting. Seemingly out of the blue, a message pops up on the crossplay menu saying that it's always enabled in ranked play. Cannot be changed in game lobbies or during gameplay. And before we fully go into this, I need to say that COD has not officially announced any of this, nor have they given any reasoning to this. It was just recently placed in the account and network settings. I can't imagine that was on accident, but just for full context, Call of Duty has not officially announced this for ranked play at all. That being said, I'm taking it at face value and assuming that all Black Ops 6 ranked play matches will be played with crossplay on. And that, of course, in my opinion, is a major problem for plenty of reasons, which we'll go into today. But before we get into that, I kind of wanted to rationalize why Call of Duty would want to do something like this. Even if I might disagree with their reasoning, what I might think that they're trying to do is bring the player base together instead of separating everybody. I don't have the statistics that they have, but in my mind, I feel like ranked play communities have been split over the last couple years, as people have seen consoles like Xbox and PlayStation as ways to truly get rid of the cheaters by turning crossplay off. In my mind, this is a good thing because it means more people are wanting a native and non-cheater experience with Call of Duty. And for those of you that have only played on PC and not played on a console with crossplay off, I feel bad because you've never been able to experience actually complimenting somebody on a good play. But to Call of Duty or anybody at Call of Duty, if that is your reasoning for turning the setting on for Black Ops 6 ranked play, the reason that the ranked play communities have been split up between PC and console with crossplay off is because of the cheating problem in Call of Duty. If there was not a consistent point every year around season 3 where cheaters run rampant in ranked play with no bans whatsoever until pretty much the end of the season, how would that do anything other than sending people to either find another game to play or find a console and turn crossplay off? And I can only see this as punishing the people that have gone out of their way to try to play against less cheaters. And from Call of Duty's perspective, that's really the only reasoning that I could think of as to why the setting would be a thing. Hopefully they release an official statement, maybe with the ranked play matchmaking white paper that explains why this is a thing. But until then, let's talk about why it's a problem. Even in a perfect world with a perfect anti-cheat, cheating on Call of Duty has gotten to the point of having an entire spectrum of cheats that can be decided upon using. Someone can hide a tiny mini-map under their face cam on stream. Someone can cast a map with red dots to an iPad on their floor to bypass a monitor cam. And people can qualify for the Challengers Championship while cheating and get banned on LAN. What I'm trying to say is there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different methods and levels to the cheating problem in gaming in general. And even a perfect anti-cheat is not going to completely get rid of all of them. Yes, it would be a great step in the right direction if there's some AI Ricochet anti-cheat that completely gets rid of the aimbotters, but there will always be people that are on PC that are looking for the slightest of advantages over other people in ranked play. And that's where turning crossplay off comes in. If you turn crossplay off, you're playing against only PS5 people who also play on either 60 or 120 hertz, the same or similar audio settings, and the same or similar input delay. And yes, there are people who still cheat on console with Cronuses or keyboards or even booting people offline, but those things are happening on PC too. So I'd rather play against somebody with a keyboard or a Zim that doesn't have aimbot or wall hacks compared to keeping crossplay on and potentially playing against somebody with everything. One thing that I made sure I wanted to talk about for those of you that are on Xbox, when ranked play comes out, I want you to check if the crossplay off feature works on Xbox. The difference between PlayStation turning crossplay off and Xbox turning crossplay off is that on PlayStation, it's in your account and network settings on Call of Duty. On Xbox, it's in your actual Xbox settings. And I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here, but I'm wondering if this could have to do with a Microsoft exclusivity with Call of Duty. If turning crossplay off remains an Xbox setting, it's possible that could be something that Microsoft is holding on to get more people to their platform. I don't think that's the case, and I'm probably going off the deep end here, so I'm going to stop myself there. But when ranked play comes out, anybody that's on Xbox, I'd love for you to check that out and let me know either by DMing me or just leaving a comment down below. But next, let's talk about what Ricochet is going to do, or what Ricochet is trying to do when it comes to the anti-cheat in ranked play. They've specifically mentioned in their patch notes that there will be upgrades to the Ricochet anti-cheat when ranked play launches, including continuous examinations to the leaderboard, so like top 250s and whatnot. And they've mentioned that there will be more on ranked play updates in a future blog post. If there are constant updates to Ricochet when it comes to ranked play, despite what we've talked about earlier and despite how upset I might be about crossplay turning off, I do think that could be a good thing. At the end of the day, there still will be cheaters that maybe have aimbot or just red dots on their minimap like a 2D radar. But if leaving crossplay on is something that Call of Duty's not gonna budge on, the constant updates to Ricochet will be the only saving grace for that. They have some other security updates for ranked play that are mentioned here. Some of them are to prevent boosting, like with AFK detections or VPN abuse, and that doesn't really impact us at all, but they have the 50 wins in multiplayer matches requirement. One other thing that I thought was interesting is that if you want to change your name in ranked play and you're at Crimson rank or higher, you actually have to get a manual review, which I guess this is how some people got around being banned, is they would blatantly cheat and change their Activision ID then continue to blatantly cheat. That is definitely a step in the right direction. And they mention as well that they're looking to collect data and continually test the effectiveness of the different Ricochet detections. I don't know how much of this we've actually seen in game. I know for a fact people are out there still cheating, and I know for a fact people are going to try to cheat in ranked play. So again, the constant updates are a W, but they're going to need to remain constant throughout the entirety of Black Ops 6's lifespan. And as I rant, we're going to get into my final thoughts here. PC lobbies on ranked play are fine in the beginning of the year and after certain updates have dropped, because the cheaters have not updated their software to match the new update of the game. In those specific points in time, I could imagine a world where Call of Duty would want to enable crossplay on all devices to increase the total player count allowed to find lobbies, to improve ping, and to improve matchmaking in general. However, if there were no such thing as turning crossplay off, I would have fully quit the last two Call of Duties at about the May or June mark, if not earlier. Season 1 of ranked play is usually fine. Season 2 of ranked play is usually fine. When we get into Season 3, 4, 5, and especially 6, cheaters just slowly start to ramp up and become more blatant as they realize that the anti-cheat is catching up to them less as Call of Duty's focusing on other things or other games. And here's what this does in PC lobbies. The cheaters realize they can get away with it, so they start cheating more. The legit players who are actually keeping the game alive start to realize they're just getting hacked on over and over again, and they start to find other games to play, or they come over to console and turn crossplay off, leaving a disproportionately high amount of cheaters in the PC lobbies that will one by one fully rid of the legitimate player base that's still on PC, especially at the higher rank lobbies. The community has split in previous years in the final months of the game's life cycles, as the people that consistently get hacked on go over to console to play and crossplay off lobbies. If Call of Duty fully removes this setting, the ranked play community in later seasons will not split. It will fully die down, because at that point in time, the blatant cheaters would only have more and more legit people to play against. And I promise you, every time a legit player plays against a hacker, especially if they're forced to on console, they're going to be even more willing to completely put the game away and uninstall it and not touch it ever again. So Call of Duty, you need to be very careful. A Ricochet anti-cheat update cannot be a once a season thing, cannot be once ranked play drops with AI detection. It needs to be multiple times a season with constant updates to the top 250 throughout the entirety of the game's life cycle, all the way up until next year when the next game releases. If you have the resources to do that, and if you're willing to do that, great. Leave crossplay enabled for everybody and we'll see how it plays out. If you're not able to do that, the console ranked play community that has been forced to play in PC lobbies will be no more. And that includes myself. I'm sorry for the rant, and I hope this didn't come across as toxic. This is just my rant as somebody who very much enjoyed switching to console simply because it changed everything about my peace of mind when it comes to Call of Duty. The ball's in the court of Call of Duty and Treyarch. I would love to be proven wrong. If they could completely wipe out all the cheaters, go ahead and leave crossplay on. If Ricochet ends up falling flat, especially later on in the year, then I would not be surprised if ranked play player counts went to an all-time low. All that being said, I want you to let me know what you think of this in comments down below. If you enjoyed this type of video, let me know with a like or subscribe. I will catch you this week on Thursday for ranked play, I guess, on PC. And yeah, I'll catch you next time at lunchtime. Peace out.